I first met David Berkowitz close up and personal in February of 1979 when I traveled to Attica State Prison for an interview with two other reporters. At the time I was with the Associated Press and I had covered various aspects of the Son of Sam case. So I brought a camera with me, and Berkowitz comes into the room and is very friendly, shakes hands with all of us, kind of small talk. I got him to pose for some photos, and I would say to him, smile, and he would oblige without any concern. And in fact, during the hour-long interview, there were numerous times when he laughed and joked and seemed very, very relaxed. I remember we didn't know where Berkowitz was being kept. For us, we got searched like any person would be searched coming into a maximum security prison. And then we were taken in, as I recall it was a big ante-room, and we were sitting down, and then in he walked with 2-3 guards, and they unshackled him, and he sat down, and the guards were always there, always watching every move. But it wasn't like there was no wall between us or plate glass or anything. We were just like kind of hanging out in a room talking. It was very casual, it was very relaxed. I remember that. It struck me that he just seemed like an ordinary, regular guy. During the interview, Berkowitz said that the claims that he had made about committing the murders because he was part of a satanic cult, he said it was basically just part of his wild imagination, and he denied the truth of all that. Of course, as the story unfolded in the next, say, decade, the cult issue became one where actually the Queens District Attorney reopened the case and had a criminal investigation looking into the possibility that, in fact, Berkowitz was part of a cult. See, he took the name Son of Sam in the letters that he wrote to Breslin, and Sam Carr was his neighbor in Yonkers, but in fact there were two sons of Sam, John Carr and Michael Carr, and both of them died under mysterious circumstances. One son died in a car accident that had some mysterious angles to it, but more importantly, the other son died out in Minot, North Dakota at the Air Force Base, and I traveled out there to investigate the death. It was sort of unofficially considered a suicide, but it was never really, the case was never closed because there was suspicion that he might have been murdered. And as the investigation went forward, law enforcement authorities in Minot told me that they had evidence that John Carr and David Berkowitz actually knew each other quite well. There was another incident in Dannemora, there's another upstate state prison. I went up there with some lawyers who were doing a deposition in a civil lawsuit. I wasn't allowed into the prison, but that night I got a transcript of the deposition from the court reporter, and in it Berkowitz insisted that in fact there was a cult, and he said that as many as 10 members of the cult were still alive and doing their business in the New York metropolitan area. Of course, to this day, none of this has ever been proven, so I guess you could say it have to go down in the history books as part of the mystery and the mystique of the Son of Sam case.